Welcome back to Softcore History. I'm your host for the week, Dan Regester, and I am joined as always by Rob Fox and Jake Goldman. What is up, boys?
Oh, just being chilly,
Did you know, for the listeners, did you know that our studio doesn't have heating?
The studio is currently 46 inside.
Is it really that cold in here?
Yeah.
I fucking knew when I was leaving the house. I was like, okay, I was like putting on like my pea coat and stuff, and I was like, wait, whatever jacket I put on, I'm going to need to keep on. So I swapped
I have multiple
out to
layers
my,
on, yeah.
swapped out to my thick ass.
Yeah.
It's a
fleece.
once-in-a-lifetime storm that happens every year now.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, this year it's because of El Nino.
I thought it was the polar vortex.
Is that what we are? It's polar vortex?
Who cares?
It's
25 degrees.
Again,
it's not that bad.
It's magic.
Yeah. I would play outside in this weather routinely.
I'm from St. Louis. No, shut up. Shut up. No one cares. I know he's from Philly. No one cares.
Isn't there science behind it actually being colder here and in Florida because of the humidity?
Mm-hmm. Well, with the precipitation.
When it
normally.
gets cold here.
Yeah, like Florida cold's a different cold.
It bites.
Like a Florida 50 is still somehow worse than a Philly 20.
I would say once it gets below 50 degrees in Florida, it's like, ugh. It's just wet. It's wet and cold.
All the iguanas die.
They do. They fall out of trees.
Yeah.
It's really,
They
they'll
They
freeze
go
in
into
the
like
trees.
stasis, right?
Yeah, and they'll just you'll be driving.
You got to take your umbrella for iguanas.
That'd be sick to just like wait under a tree with a baseball bat and try to like hit them as they fall.
That's actually how youths in the state of Florida
Get good at baseball.
batting practice.
Yeah. Chipper Jones grew up in Florida, and that's how he learned to hit. He would stand under a tree and swing at iguanas.
Mash.
I don't
Reptiles.
remember the iguanas always being a thing.
I'm sure they're not. I'm
Yeah.
sure everything happened in the last 40 years when your asshole residents just like flush their pets into the fucking swamp.
Oh, boo-hoo. Now we have an open python season. You're welcome. We're just making it cooler.
I want to go python hunting.
Dude, you don't want to go to the Everglades unless you have to.
No, you could do it in normal places too. They're everywhere.
You just go to some guy's backyard
Eating
with a
fucking
machete.
dogs and shit. I swear to God, we're like 5 years away from a monitor lizard eating a toddler.
It wouldn't surprise me. Those things are
It's
awesome.
for sure happened before now.
Oh, one fun
Yeah,
thing to
maybe
do. If
If you've thought of it, you can look it up. It's happened.
Yeah.
if you're ever in South Florida, go on Facebook Marketplace and look for black market iguana meat for sale. Because people be out here scooping iguanas and filleting
It's
them.
fucking gnarly. I actually.
you shouldn't eat those.
Do you follow Python Cowboy on Instagram?
Is he the swamp puppy guy?
Yeah.
Oh, boop. He boops them and stuff like that.
Yeah, he has those dogs, trained hunting dogs, shit like that. He kills iguanas and like the Egyptian geese that are invasive too.
Oh yeah. I've seen this guy.
And anyway, one time he'll just like snipe. He has like gun cam videos of killing iguanas. It's awesome. Anyway, he had some dead iguana on his boat that the dog brought back, and some redneck woman was on there, and he was just like, "I dare you," and he like pulled these eggs out of the iguana. Like, it was like a female iguana, and the woman just like ate a raw ass iguana egg out of the iguana. I wanted to fucking puke.
Oh man, it's crazy. When I talked about how we made the carny eat the goldfish, everyone's like, "You're a monster."
What are the macros on that egg?
It's 40 grams of protein right there.
I'd do it.
No question. Raw?
I mean, raw milk's all the rage these days.
Raw milk's probably so much better for you.
Most likely.
It's the problem with raw milk was that we started putting dairy cows into pins, and they'd start infecting each other, and like the dirty people weren't cleaning up when they were milking.
I go straight to the teat.
Yeah. No, it's just like there's a way to clean.
I've just kept my wife lactating.
That's perfect.
Yeah, Finn's almost a year old. She's been going the whole time.
You got to put another baby in.
We use formula. That's all for me.
I feel like you should be buffer.
I know.
All that human milk.
It's hard to find time to work out.
Yeah.
With all the,
all the milk you got to get out.
it's all drinking. Yeah, it's all
It's
all
all-
drinking, no lifting.
sick.
And also because of all the content we're putting out on patreon.com/softcorehistory. $5 a month gets you 2 additional episodes every week. And we have an entire back catalog now of a year and a half, 2 years of evergreen
It's
content.
so much shit. And we got some new content coming your way. Just got the shit for that on Patreon. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Oh. What content?
We are going
A
to
battle of wills between the
battle
three
of
us.
wits, battle of wills,
Oh, the thing.
Yeah.
a battle
Yeah.
of patience because it's a board game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, we're not gonna do it all in one sitting.
No, it's going to be a multi-part
Yeah.
Patreon. It'd be amazing. Unless we're very bad, we won't do it in one sitting.
Yeah.
Gotta be real.
Rob just smokes us. We get
I'll be
done
honest
one
with you, I've never played a full game of
I've never
Risk.
played a single second of Risk.
I haven't played.
Rob's gonna run us.
I haven't played it in probably 25 years.
That's
so.
why we're gonna get the official Milton Bradley instructions and find every loophole possible.
I'm just gonna cheat my dick off.
Yeah, that's war, baby.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
Cheating's encouraged.
Every game is cheating encouraged. It's just
Wherever I am, I want to dig in like the Afghans.
just start in Afghanistan.
There isn't. I don't believe there's a Stinger missile piece in the wrist, but we never.
Can I hide in the cave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you roll the die. Okay, I roll a 3. All my guys go into a cave.
There's a tactical nuke piece. We don't know what exactly it does, but it works.
So again, patreon.com/softcore history. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube. Starting February. Big announcement, guys.
Huge here.
Big.
We're going 2 episodes on the main feed every week. I believe we decided Mondays is when the audio drops for kind of like us covering events in history.
Yes.
And then Thursdays be more of a biography on somebody.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to make a calendar.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get in there.
That's I could see.
Do it off the dome, my guys.
Shoot from the hip. This isn't hardcore
I was
history.
preparing for this week because I
This is-
thought it was my week again.
Well, lucky.
No. So we actually kind of boned ourselves. I never got a week off,
Oh,
technically,
yeah. I was about to say,
because of the holidays and the
Right.
break and the shooting schedule for that.
You're
So,
welcome.
yeah, you got a free week.
No, I'm saying you're welcome to you.
Oh, me?
Extra grind.
yeah,
I am a grind boy.
Yeah.
I've accepted that I don't want to do anything fun this year.
yeah. Dan's pulling up analytics now. We're calling them Danalytics.
I'm tracking my macros. I'm going to track all my workouts. I'm tracking my budget for the first time
Nerd.
at 32, almost 33.
Sick.
Entering my Jesus here. I'm not getting haircuts. I'm not going to
Oh,
trim my
please
beard.
don't do that.
Actually, we're both doing that.
Gross.
We're just gonna be Jesus guys.
Well, you fit. Are you 33?
I'm about.
We're both the same age.
We're the same age.
Birthday week, baby. It's coming
Yeah.
up in May.
Okay, so you'll be 33 this year.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be a 33-year-old Jew with a beard.
Crucify me, Daddy.
Yeah. The whole point is to level up so then we can die.
So we gotta reach ascension.
I mean, Jesus really did all his shit in the last 2 years.
what would be like our Easter? I guess how many months is Easter from the birth? It's like 4 months, right?
Well,
No,
the
I mean
historical
it's
birth.
33 years.
Actual
in.
birthday is not December 25th, my guy.
It's like in March allegedly or something.
Okay.
So it's like a fucking 8
Okay,
days
Well,
between Easter.
what date would be our Easter for when we would be crucified?
So it's probably like a week after
August.
we die.
something
Or
like August,
After
September.
a week after we turn 33, we die essentially,
why?
because that's really what happened with Jesus.
Well, so Easter was when then? I'm confused even more now. Like,
Yeah, whatever.
okay, we don't need to figure this out on it.
No, not on air.
Don't need to do this.
I think
math
people would love that.
We don't have to do it at all. Truthfully.
Whatever, man.
In fact, we're going to talk about a man as magical as Jesus Christ.
I doubt that.
I'm going to tell you what a priest yelled at my classmate in first grade. Jesus is not magic.
It's a miracle. It's not magic.
Yeah,
All right, so this man's more impressive than Jesus Christ then.
probably, yeah.
We're talking, of course, about my guy, Eric Wise. You hear about this guy? You know about this guy?
I don't know who the fuck
Eric
this
Wise.
is.
I've never heard of this person.
Eric Wise sounds like a guy I went to high school
I was
with.
about to say that's like the guy that sits bench on the basketball team in high school. Eric Wise. Yeah, he's been on the team every year, never plays.
I'm going to keep going until you figure out who this is.
Okay.
Does he go by another name?
We'll get to that.
So, yes. I don't know. Is it David Copperfield? You doing David Copperfield? Epstein
We're not
list?
doing an Epstein list David Copperfield thing. No.
I've actually seen David Copperfield live.
You are just around all kinds of child molesters.
It's not that. It's not like I'm out there seeking it. It turns out they are child molesters after the fact. Like
David Copperfield actually has a lot of this man's material
Okay.
and just historical artifacts.
is Eric Wise Houdini?
I figure, yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
Eric Wise was born March 24th, 1874 in
Is it- wait,
Budapest,
is it-
Hungary.
Is it Eric Weiss? Spell it.
Weisc.
S-C?
Z.
Oh, Wise. Oh, Wise. Okay.
Wise.
Eric Wise. He's
Weitz.
the fourth of 7 children in a large Jewish family.
Pour one out for my boy Eric.
Bang.
Yeah.
With things looking bleak for the Jews during that time, as it did every other year in Europe, the family would move to Appleton, Wisconsin, when Eric was just 4.
Ooh.
His father served as a rabbi for the Zion Reformed Jewish congregation, while his mother, who he grew close to the rest of his life, stayed home, never learned English or Yiddish, and communicated with her
What the fuck did
kids
she speak?
German.
Oh,
okay.
German.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are just stepping all over me. Let me
Grunts.
get to it. I'm going to answer your questions,
Yeah.
baby.
It's like,
German might as well be a grunt. Yeah.
Once his dad got kicked out of the synagogue for being too old world with his views, Eric's family moved to Milwaukee
cancel culture, fucking libs.
and fell into deep poverty. So he had to pull his share from an early age. He started with odd jobs, selling newspapers, shining shoes, running errands for store owners, before becoming a locksmith apprentice.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense now. Can we discuss it like we know the fact that it is the person we're talking about now?
It is Houdini, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. That makes a lot of sense. That he would be a locksmith apprentice.
Learn how to do locks.
Learn how to get out of them and open them.
Yeah. I actually his trick for getting out of handcuffs is like genius. I wish
You widen your, like, what is it like?
you flex when they're putting them on.
So it's thicker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've also heard that too when like they're zip tying. Actually,
Yeah.
the way you go is like do this, like put your hands out like this when they're doing it,
Yeah.
so that you can collapse them in.
Smart.
So there's a little bit of gap there.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or like do that if you can. Like do anything to create
do-
space. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
In his free time, he would read books about magic and contortion at the library. He started performing on the streets with his ragtag group of street children friends and family at 9 under the name Eric the Prince of the Air, doing trapeze stunts.
I like that better than Houdini, and I will only refer to Houdini from now on as Eric, Prince of the Air.
That's a terrible name.
That's a great name.
That's bad marketing, dude.
He also renamed Eric. Like, he is spelled E-R-I-K. His stage name was E-H-R-I-C-H.
Yeah, to add some like
flair.
Yeah.
you add
European
some
flair.
Far East flair to it.
Eric. Yeah. You sound like is
Yurik.
Yeah.
Yurik the Prince.
Is he from
Eric.
Is he
It's
from
like
some mystical like
brown place.
Egyptian land? Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
Basically, yes.
When Eric was 12, his family moved to New York City, where he cut fabric for neckties. He was also an accomplished cross-country runner and swimmer at school.
Okay,
So we got the breath holding,
breath holding, good lung
got the
capacity,
locks, yeah.
fit, just fit in
Yeah.
general.
Half the reason I do this episode is because of his quads,
Oh my
or
god,
the photo of his quads.
He's bricked up, dude. Just stacked like a shit brick house, bro.
Dude's all lower body.
Yeah. Bricked up means horny, doesn't it? Or hard, right?
Who cares?
I think I fucked up the euphemism there.
But he
Probably had a good dick.
yeah, it's actually how you get out of a straitjacket. When they put it on, you have to have an erection. It creates extra space, and then you get soft, and yeah.
You just slip right through.
Yep, yeah.
It's like,
So if
Oh,
anyone's
man.
ever trying to commit you against your will, make sure you have an erection.
yeah.
At 15, everything changed. He discovered the memoirs of Robert Houdin, and the rest is history.
Oh, did he name himself after this guy, kind of?
Yeah.
Who's Robert Houdin?
He is a man where he learned the tricks of the trade.
Oh.
books.
A previous magician you never heard of.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he added an I
So, oh man,
as like an homage.
classic.
Yeah.
Been doing it forever. Just gonna rip this guy. Make my own thing.
I probably could have just like slow played this better, but yeah, he became Harry Houdini. And he became obsessed with the work of his new hero that sparked his enthusiasm for what would become the rest of his life. Magic.
Neat.
Nerd.
Nothing Anglos love more than a Jew doing tricks. Tell you that. They love it when we make things disappear.
On the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Street magic. So urchin robbing, basically. That's
Yeah.
pickpocketing, guys. Oh my god, he took my watch.
Just
What am I-
like you're like, can you imagine like you're a raving anti-Semite and you see a little Jewish kid manipulating the laws of physics?
It's like I
Pulling a
fucking-
coin out of your ear.
I swear to fucking God, I knew it. No, yeah, it's just like also just our aptitude for entertainment. We took something basically legal, like pickpocketing,
Yeah.
and we made it entertainment. It's like, got your watch off your wrist.
Well, if you give it back, it's
Yeah.
fine.
If you give it back, but then you get a coin for it, it's like I just practiced the stealing. I get paid for it.
Yeah.
I have no risk of jail now.
You're actually like almost extorting them. You're like, hey, I took your wallet and I'm going to give it back to you, but as out of kindness for this, give me some of what's in it.
That is literally a classic thief move, by the way.
hey, to be like, hey man, I found your wallet. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
dude, so thank you so much. Here's $5.
Yep. Classic move.
He partnered with his friend Jacob Hyman and called themselves the Brothers Houdini.
Not the brothers Hyman?
No.
Weird. Why?
They performed card tricks, coin swaps, and disappearing acts in dime museums and on Coney Island during the summers next to snake charmers, fire eaters, and human oddities.
Freaks. Freaks.
Human oddities is the kindest euphemism for a freak show I've ever heard.
Right. It's just like the dog-faced boy, and it was really just someone with fetal alcohol syndrome or something like that.
Bearded lady.
Yeah.
Just a woman with hair on her face.
Yeah, just like, or just a fucking transvestite.
Yeah, or just a dude in a dress.
Yeah.
You were saying they were doing disappearing acts, huh?
Just simple
Interesting.
stuff. I mean, they're teenagers here.
Yeah.
He would purchase his first major trick around this time called Metamorphosis, which involved two people trading places in a locked trunk on stage behind screen. Jacob eventually left the act, and he replaced Jacob with his real brother, Theo. The two locked down a spot at the Chicago World Fair in 1893.
Ooh. That's where the serial killer was, right?
Yeah.
Devil in the White City.
H.H. Holmes.
Yeah. That was like America's shitty Midnight in Paris. We should do a comedic Midnight in Chicago. And it's 1893. And it's H.H. Holmes, Harry Houdini. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other people rolling around there. That
Yeah,
are
probably.
Just like the oddballs.
Teddy Roosevelt shows up.
Yeah, like we could do that. That'd be fun.
After the fair, Houdini and his brother returned to Coney Island, where they performed at the same hall as the singing and dancing Floral Sisters.
Was Coney Island just always a fucking carnival?
Essentially, yeah.
Interesting.
Like, it's just like they founded New York, and they're like, this shall be our carnival island.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
I guess so. Coney Island also like is a franchise of hot dogs.
Yeah, well, that's
because
where
of the Coney
it
Island
started.
hot dogs.
Are those tied to each other?
Nathan's. Nathan's started at Coney Island.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
They are tied to each other though, right? Because
Yes.
like I've been to one in Pennsylvania at Coney
Nathan's
Island.
famous hot dogs.
Yeah,
That's
but-
why they have it at Coney Island.
Okay, but I went to one. People acted like it had nothing to do with the fucking island. And it was just, that was a coincidence. I was like, are you sure? Because this seems like right up the alley of the island. It seems like it's exclusively from this place. They're like, nah, this is like a Pennsylvania thing. I'm like, I don't think so.
Like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Wasn't long before a romance blossomed between 20-year-old Houdini and 18-year-old Bess Ranner.
Oh, see,
of the
I
Floral
was
Sisters.
really from the Floral Sisters. I forgot you mentioned a chick, because I was like, have you even mentioned a woman? Is he about to bang his brother?
Well, he cut me off with the whole Nathan's Coney Island thing.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
But yeah, no, he also properly aged woman.
20 and 18.
20 and 18. That's
thi-
solid right there.
This
He's a
is the
solid
time
man.
this is the time of history where you're like, he fell in love with a beautiful 12-year-old girl named Clara.
Yeah, or he magically got her re-aged. No, she's now 18. Like, yeah.
He's like, just give me the birth certificate for a minute. Okay, you see this? See this? Says 12. Says 12. Okay, everybody see it? Says 12.
Turn it upside
Okay.
down, 21.
After a 3-week courtship, Houdini and Bess were married on June 22nd, 1894.
Oh.
They knew.
Sometimes
know,
you just
you know.
know, man.
She was very petite, too, so he saw use for her.
Did
Oh.
this is like related. I read this thing the other day about David Blaine and Leonardo DiCaprio about how, like, back in the Pussy Posse days,
Oh, I forgot about the Pussy Posse.
Yeah, Blaine was a part of that, wasn't he?
kind of, yeah, and like they were worried that like he was like date raping chicks with hypnotism.
David Blaine.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
like-
let's throw out the allegedly. Let's not.
No, it's
All
not
of his
even.
sex
It's
is
like
sleight of
barely.
hand.
It's like barely alleged. It was like Leonardo DiCaprio was like freaking out about it or something. It's like, you're a moron. Like, he's obviously not like. Oh, Colonel, look at me. Okay.
All right.
My eyes.
No, open your.
Okay, no. Oh, you see how my eyes? Okay. Take out your titties. Okay, great. All right. Putting myself in. You know. Okay. Do you feel that? Okay, great.
I think you're just describing what David Copperfield did on Epstein's Island.
No, Copperfield's got flair though. Like he's
He was
bedazzled.
a little sexual on the stage, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was a sex symbol for a minute in
He
like
was.
the 80s.
He was like a hot guy.
Yeah.
Blaine's last trick wasn't even magic, really. He just went up on a hot air balloon.
Dude,
I
you
know.
mean
He
the,
pulled an upride.
the balloons he was holding the whole time? He's past magic now. He's like strengths. He's like feats of strength.
But Houdini did that too. He's like, I'm just gonna be underwater for 11 minutes or some shit.
Most of Houdini's stuff is feats of strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Blaine's wasn't he like frozen solid or something? He was
Yeah,
like stuck in
he was in a
like
block
in
of
an
ice.
igloo or some shit.
Yeah.
Basically.
Like it's not. There's nothing magic about it.
No, it's just like
I'm going to become Walt Disney.
yeah, pretty much. He does like the balloon one cracked me up. I watched the entire thing of that because I was like,
I
this
didn't
is
see it.
she's got like 700 helium balloons carrying him into the sky. All right.
I do like when he just fucks with people, like when he just does the card tricks or whatever.
Yeah.
Like when Harrison Ford, someone gets a card and Harrison Ford's orange.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't need to see him be like, well, I
The
bet
best
you I
one-
won't die. Let's call that magic.
The best one is when he goes to Haiti. All the Haitians run away from him.
That's not a good place to do magic.
No, it's the worst. They
No.
believe in it.
Yeah,
They believe in it.
Yeah.
You're just some white devil that showed up doing it.
Bess soon replaced Theo as Houdini's partner, since she was able to hide inside various boxes and trunks and vanish and acts much easier since she was tiny.
Plus, better. Like people don't want to look at two dudes.
Yeah.
So that's how he knew within 3 days, huh? He's like, oh my God, you are so small.
You got to have your assistant be a female.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yes.
what the Prestige taught us, right?
He's married to the game.
You need a Scarlett Johansson in your corner.
Yes.
They went by the names of Monsieur and Mademoiselle Houdini, Mysterious Harry, and La Petite Bessie, or the Great Houdinis. In 1896, the Houdinis went to work in the Welsh Brothers Travelin' Circus.
Nice.
Bess
They
sang
booked a
songs
tour.
while Houdini did magic tricks. And
This-
together they performed the Metamorphosis Act. In 1896, when the circus season ended, the Houdinis joined a traveling vaudeville show.
Wait, did she sing songs while he was doing the magic? Like he's like setting up the trick and dancing around.
She
Is
did
she-
some of the magic too.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a prop.
But is she like the final countdown for Job?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Da-da-da-da. Like she's just on stage like da-da-da-da-da.
What's the
Yeah, you gotta have music for your fucking tricks, dude.
the one right before the Prestige where it's the one where you're getting them to look somewhere else.
To look away.
Yeah.
The distraction. Or
She's
whatever,
the
yeah.
distraction.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like she's the look at this lady sing and maybe that.
I buy that. He sends a signal to like pop her tit out if
Yeah,
people
it's
too
like
many people are looking at her.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah. But
In each new town, Houdini would visit the local police station and announce that he could escape from any handcuffs they put him in.
Bold.
just walks in. He's like, "Listen up, pussies. Think you could arrest me?"
Smells like bacon in here. Yeah.
What do they even have handcuffs at that point? Is it still like shackles, like old like
Chains.
like that like Jack Sparrow's in and fucking
It's actually a cannonball attached to your ankle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Crowds would gather to watch as Houdini easily escaped. These pre-show exploits were often covered by local newspapers, creating publicity for their show.
It'd be funny if one of the cops just beat the Christ out of him, and he's unconscious, and then they cuff him, and then they just look at him like, "Okay, this is how we do to our other
I was
prisoners."
about to say I never put a guy in cuffs before I beat him unconscious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
To keep audiences further amused, Houdini decided to escape from a straitjacket, using his agility and flexibility to wiggle free from it.
He
Yeah.
got erection.
Big old boner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolute hard on.
When this show ended, the Houdinis scrambled to find work, even contemplating work other than magic.
No, you got to be addicted to the game. You got
Yeah.
to be willing to be fucking broke.
They were offered a position with Dr. Hill's California Concert Company, an old-time traveling medicine show selling tonic that could cure just about anything.
Oh God.
So, just so we're clear, what this sounds like to me is content created to sell merch.
Yep.
There are no new ideas.
No.
Everything is fucking the same shit over and over. So this guy, it's like, what was the company that bought a content company just to like sell their shit?
Every company?
Yeah.
What are you
No,
saying?
but there's one recently. It was like very transparent. Like that's like it was like a non-content company bought a content company just to sell shit.
Oh.
Oh, well, Penn and Barstool, for example.
Oh,
Not
for
that
sure
worked
that,
out
yeah.
necessarily, but that was literally they just wanted why pay for advertising when you can just have a platform?
I mean, you just have a channel.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like an entire multi-channel operation to do it for you.
Absolutely nothing new.
No, I mean, yeah, you put on a show, sell some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think a concert is?
Yeah, that's what music's for. They
Yeah.
don't make money off the shows. It's all about selling that
It's
merch,
merch, dude.
those sweet teas.
Yeah.
In the medicine show, Houdini once again performed his escape acts. However, when attendance members began to dwindle, Dr. Hill asked Houdini if he could transform himself into a spirit medium.
What do you mean? Like they're like, hey, people aren't showing up. Could you say you're talking to their
We
dead
need
relatives?
some seances. We
Yeah.
need a
Sweet.
seance bit,
Yes.
basically.
So Houdini was already familiar with many of the spirit medium's tricks, so he began leading seances while Bess performed as a clairvoyant claiming to have psychic gifts.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Is it racist that whenever I go to New Orleans and I get my cards read, I never want a white person?
No.
And if they are white, it's got to be a woman. Like, last thing I need is a white man reading
guy-
my tarot cards.
Hey, I'm Scott. I've been doing tarot for 9 years.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, okay. No.
Tarot cards and like sushi restaurants.
Yeah,
No,
I need
no white guys.
like I am literally looking for like a stereotypical, like disgustingly racistly stereotypical voodoo woman.
You don't want to get too voodoo-y. Then
No.
you just get cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then she knows your
No, if you're
intentions.
nice to them, you don't have
Yeah,
to
I'm
curse them.
always
I
chill
guess
to
if you
them.
pay, yeah. Yeah, you want her like spitting vodka out. You know what I mean? Around the perimeter and
Maybe
stuff
some
like that.
face tats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just what I want.
But as far as the sushi chef comment goes,
It's not an original thought. I think the league covered it. Timothy Oliphant in an episode was a sushi chef.
They were
really?
just like, nope.
And they're like, no, thank you.
I realize now that like every time you go into a Benihana, you know, you get like the guy that's not Japanese. It's like now it's like mostly not Japanese guys.
There's not enough Japanese people in the country to do that.
Still mostly Asian guys.
It's Asian. That's fine, but he's like, that's not the right.
Oh, I'm talking about like in Florida where it's like mostly like Puerto Rican guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
mostly
that's fine.
Hispanics.
But it is like the type of thing where it's like, imagine you're in Japan or Japan. Yeah, just imagine you're in Japan and you're like, man, I really want some Mexican food, and like you see the guy cooking, and you're like, oh, he's from Oregon, close enough, same continent. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
No. But also like doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Except with the tarot cards, I'm not.
Tarot cards for sure. No, there's a difference between food and magic.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, food is food. Like if you can make it tasty, you can make it tasty.
Yeah, there's directions.
No one from Des Moines is channeling anything from the other side of the
Absolutely
veil.
not,
No, it's not happening.
The Houdinis were very successful pretending to be spiritualists because they always did the research. As soon as they pulled into a new town, the Houdinis would read recent obituaries and visit graveyards to seek the names of the newly dead.
That's fucking great. That's smart.
That's
Gotta do your work, man.
Yeah, man. No, he's committed to the bit, and he's like, that's a high level of showmanship. Honestly, like, even though those people are getting
That's good writing.
scammed, they're getting scammed convincingly.
Mhm.
That's great.
That's good writing.
Yeah.
You do your research, yeah.
They would also subtly listen to town gossip.
Well, that's just fun.
All this allowed them to piece together enough information to convince crowds that the Houdinis were real spiritualists with amazing powers to contact the dead.
They have ears and eyes.
Can you imagine if they like outed an affair in town?
I bet they did.
I bet they had fun with it. Like
Why
if it
would-
was a
yeah.
town, they were like, man, fuck this town in particular. just like get the mayor tarred and feathered by the end of the day.
However, feelings of guilt about lying to grief-stricken people eventually became overwhelming,
Boo.
and the Houdinis ultimately quit the show.
Boo.
They're
They got
not,
too good at it.
Yeah, they're not in it for that really.
Like it's after that is a nightmare. Like it's after the show, someone runs up like, "Please, tell me more of what my little Billy said for them.
This is just a job for them.
so much."
Oh, you can handle that easy. It's like, oh, he said it's really hot.
yeah, but then she follows you. Think about
Yeah.
Think about fans we've had or have where it's like they just get really into it. You know what I mean? And they like you'll damn you a lot or whatever. But think about that, and it's like, but you're telling the chick about her dead toddler who she's like devastated, died of typhoid or something. She starts following you. She's like, I'm wondering if Billy said anything to you At some point, you're just like, oh my god, dude.
No, he's
What a nightmare.
He's in limbo now.
Yeah.
You actually ruined it.
I got him sent there because
Yeah.
you are pissing me off.
And if you never talk to me again, he'll go back.
Yeah. Billy says Billy's moved on too far. I just be like, Billy's moved on too far. He's clearly in heaven.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, for sure.
So go home.
But again, this was just a paycheck. This is not something they were striving to do.
That wasn't even their idea.
No.
Oh, so
Yeah.
seancing is their podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With no other prospects.
Which is not a joke just about us. It's like every writer and comedian now, just their primary form of
income is podcasting, even though
Podcasting.
that's not what they want to do.
yeah.
But
just wanna dance.
embrace it, boys.
Yeah,
This,
lean into
we're
it.
here for the long haul.
Boom.
With no other prospects, the Houdinis went back to performing at the Welsh Brothers Traveling Circus. While performing in Chicago in 1899, Houdini once again performed his police station stunt of escaping handcuffs. The following day, the Chicago Journal ran the headline, "Amazes the Detectives," with a large drawing of Houdini. The publicity stunt surrounding Houdini and his handcuffed act caught the eye of Martin Beck, the head of the Orpheum Theater Circuit, who signed him for a 1-year contract. Houdini was to perform the handcuff escape act and metamorphosis at the classy Orpheum Theaters in Omaha, Boston, Philadelphia, Toronto, San Francisco. And Houdini was finally rising from obscurity and into the spotlight.
Got a big break.
That's a pretty big deal. That's a world tour, really, for that time. I mean,
It's
Well,
definitely
he does go into an international tour after that.
yeah, man. It's interesting to me, too, that like Metamorphosis was an act he bought from someone else. as
That's
well.
every magician. They
Yeah.
sold acts left and right. It wasn't uncommon.
Like, but the shows themselves were like trade shows, too. Because like you could go to see another magician's act
And then
like,
buy
I wanna
his
buy
act.
that from you. Yeah, like I think I could pizzazz it up a little bit more.
It's
Yeah.
just like the Aztec tomb in Arrested Development.
Which you gotta explain.
gotta
that one.
explain
I
that
don't
one.
remember the
It's
Aztec.
Job's thing. He like bought like a $10,000.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the very first episode.
episode, yeah.
He hides his dad in there, and that's why he gets kicked out of the Magicians Alliance because
the
the police dogs sniff out his dad and they show how the trick works.
yeah, that's right.
During all this, too, Houdini is he rises to the president of that.
The Magicians Alliance.
It's not called the Magicians Alliance, but it's like essentially that concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll kick you out for revealing secrets?
No, but he just gets power. He's the
Okay.
president of the organization.
Yeah, he's like the head of the Teamsters, but for magic people.
In the spring of 1900, 26-year-old Houdini, exuding confidence as the king of handcuffs,
Sick.
left for Europe in the hopes of finding success. His first stop was London, where Houdini performed. And while there, Houdini was challenged to escape from Scotland Yard's handcuffs. As always, Houdini escaped the theater, filling each show every night for months.
It's amazing how bored people could be back then.
There's nothing to do.
I know. Seriously, though, it's like, what do you want to do for the next hour? Let's just watch this guy get out of progressively weirder chains.
That's pretty
I would
cool.
do that now.
Yeah, I'll do it now.
I just do it on my phone
Yeah, it's true.
and then don't believe it's real.
Yeah, I'm like, the fucking
Funny
cuts.
you say that. In September 1900, Houdini was summoned by the German police prior to his first performance in the country, who suspected his act was fake.
Don't go, Houdini.
In Berlin, he was stripped naked and forced to perform an escape routine in front of 300 policemen.
That is the most German thing I've ever heard in my life.
We should have saw
You're
it coming.
arrested and you're like, take off your clothes.
Seriously.
Put him in chains. Escape yourself. Show us all. And there's just 300 German cops just like watching silently, like the fathers of future SS
Yeah.
officers,
Like-
just being like, show us magic man. Show us Jew.
Get on
That
with
you
it,
can escape.
Houdini. Yeah.
Houdini was tightly restrained with thumb screws, finger locks, and 5 different hand and elbow irons. He was able to escape in 6 minutes and later used the stunt in advertising.
300. I just can't get over 300 policemen staring at his fucking hog
Come on, naked guy.
while he gets out
Yeah.
of chains. Would that be the worst Holocaust movie ever made? A magician leads an escape from fucking Dachau.
It would be pretty bad.
Yeah. It's, I mean,
That's a producer's level bad idea.
like so bad that, yeah. But
It's
yeah.
like Springtime. What was it?
Springtime with Hitler.
Springtime with Hillary.
Yeah. Well, what was the actual Holocaust movie that was like a wacky comedy with Roberto Benigni? Life is Beautiful.
Oh,
La Bella Vida.
I thought you meant Jojo Rabbit, but
No, well, yeah.
Jojo
but-
Rabbit's fantastic.
No, but like Jojo Rabbit, it knows what it is. Like, or
Yeah.
I guess they both did. But Life is Beautiful is like slapstick.
Yeah.
We should watch that on the Patreon someday because it's a ridiculous movie.
Yeah, we should. That would be fun.
In 1901, a newspaper in Cologne accused him of attempting to bribe a police officer in order to rig an escape attempt and paying a civilian police employee to aid him with another performance. Houdini sued the newspaper and the police officer for slander. As part of the trial, Houdini was asked to open without the aid of tools one of the police officer's handcrafted locks, which the officer had said that Houdini had tried to bribe him for. Houdini was able to do so and won the case.
Boom.
I love that kind of shit where it's like courtrooms just like, let's just like do the practical thing here.
Oh, have you ever seen, there's like a famous picture from the 90s maybe of the stripper showing the judge that you can't see her vagina when she's bent over wearing the underwear that she, or like bottom that she wears in her performance because it was like a no bottoms state.
Oh, gotcha.
It's just her like straight up bent over in front of a judge being like, look, you can't see my vagina.
Yeah.
And the judge is like,
Case dismissed.
Yeah.
No, I think
I don't understand that in
perfect.
strip clubs where they're like, you have to wear pasties, like nudity, kinda.
yeah.
Because
You just can't see nipple.
Jesus.
we're a puritanical country that
Jesus.
has weird
And
laws.
whenever anyone asks me about an alcohol law or law like that, I'm like, because Jesus.
Yeah, that's it.
Jesus.
It's that.
The Houdinis went on to perform in Dresden, Germany, at the Central Theater, where ticket sales broke records. For 5 years, Houdini and Bess performed throughout Europe and even in Russia, with tickets often selling out ahead of time for their performances. Houdini had become an international star.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I'm happy
I mean,
for him.
he might have been one of the first pre-sale people.
One of the first what?
Pre-sale
people?
sellouts. Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be. I don't know when performers started becoming internationally famous, probably like composers.
I would say opera singers, too,
Yeah.
probably. Certain opera singers would probably be
He-
worldwide renowned.
He's probably literally maybe the first internationally famous performer of the 20th century,
Oh, I would have to think so.
right?
Well, maybe from
Gets a-
America?
Gets in there. And yeah. I don't,
He might be the first famous American, like internationally famous American person that's not a politician.
yeah. Well, no, because you had Buffalo Bill.
Oh, yeah, Outlaws.
That was a traveling show.
Traveling circuit,
Yeah,
or
that
Wild
went,
West show.
I think that went to Europe and stuff too.
Mm.
didn't it?
Okay.
I couldn't tell you.
Probably did.
Didn't do the research on
Every
Wild
other
Bill,
famous
Buffalo
person.
Bill, whatever
Yeah.
the fuck his name is.
In 1905, the Houdinis decided to head back to the United States and try to win fame and fortune there as well. Houdini's specialty had become escapes. In 1906, Houdini escaped from jail cells in Brooklyn, Detroit, Cleveland, Rochester, and Buffalo. In Washington, D.C., Houdini performed a escape act involving the former jail of Charles Godot, the assassins of President James A. Garfield. Fun little tie in there.
Crossover.
He get out? Well, of course he got out. But wait, the jail cell was like where he was held after the shooting or whatever?
Yeah, stripped and wearing handcuffs supplied by the Secret Service, Houdini's freed himself from the locked cell and then unlocked the adjoining cell where his clothes were waiting, all within 18 minutes.
See, that would be sweet if David Blaine was like, just like recreated the Jack Ruby shooting of.
I'm gonna dodge the bullet.
Oh,
I'm gonna dodge the
and
bullet.
he just gets shot. So he's like, but I'm gonna live. It's like that's not magic. You just didn't die.
What isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it
Well, hold on. Pull out the bullet, and there's just like an ace of spades inside the bullet.
This was John F. Kennedy's card.
Around 1907, people are starting to kind of get a little tired of the unlocking handcuffs, the escaped acts.
It makes sense. It's like, I wonder if he's gonna get out. It's like Entourage, right? It's like, oh
That's
no, I
the
We
wonder,
movie.
can't keep referencing fucking Entourage.
I wonder if they're gonna make. But we're ripping on it. It's like,
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna make the movie or if Vinny's done for good in the town.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, what's gonna? Oh, they made the movie.
Ari says we can do the movie.
it's every Houdini show, right? Oh,
Yeah.
I wonder if he's gonna get out of the handcuffs. Oh, he got out of the handcuffs.
So he's still gonna do escape acts, but he ups the ante here.
He
That's
needs
what
to
you
start-
gotta do.
Yeah, it's
You
gotta be
gotta
life or
escalate.
death now.
Yep.
You gotta escalate.
Houdini unveiled a dangerous stunt in Rochester, New York, where his hands handcuffed behind his back before he jumped from a bridge into the river. Then, in 1908, Houdini introduced a dramatic milk can escape, where he was locked inside a sealed milk can filled with water.
Oh, thank God it wasn't filled with milk.
It'd be cool if it was milk, yeah.
It kind of would be. It'd be wasteful, though. No one would waste that much milk on a magic trick.
What is a milk can?
It's got to be just like a giant
Just
like
vat?
Yeah, like a vat.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm just like obviously picturing like.
No, he fit into a carton.
He shrank.
Well,
Yeah.
It's honestly not very big.
That's
Wasn't
one of the
there a
reasons
kid that
why-
just like got stuck in a jar the other day?
He got stuck in a vase.
This is him. It's not that big.
Okay.
It wasn't a vase. But
It is a vase, yeah. So he did, the kid that just got stuck in
Was
a
it urn?
Yeah.
in
It's
a
an
milk
urn, right?
vase.
Yeah. I mean, this thing
Houdini
is,
got out of it.
This thing is up to
Yeah. Homie in the fucking video that you're talking about was just stuck.
He was just
Yeah.
stuck, man.
this thing that Houdini's in. It comes up to the waists of the three people with him. So it's like what, probably 2.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking tiny.
It's not big.
No.
The performances were huge hits. The drama and flirting with death made Houdini even more popular.
You got to keep again, it's like any other content, right? You got to keep doubling down and leaning into and getting more extreme.
So one of the things in improv, just like one thing I actually did learn that I think was useful in those classes is like if you start a scene insane, that scene's gonna suck.
Right.
Because you can't
You
go
can't
anywhere
keep
from-
going.
You have to start, or like when you start, same thing with like
It's a
if you-
slow build.
If you want to sing the Star Spangled Banner, start low
Yeah.
because those highs are gonna kick your ass when you get there because
Yeah.
it's a constantly escalating song.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you can't start high up. It's good,
Right,
but
you
you
can't
do
run-
have to
You
escalate.
can't run into the improv scene like okay, and
I got a gun.
My penis
Yeah.
is on fire.
Yeah, it's done. You're fucked, dude.
Yeah.
What's funnier than that? Nothing.
Nothing's funnier than a penis on
It
fire.
is kind of funny
Fire
to make
penis?
your
No.
everybody else in your troupe try to like follow that.
Oh,
And yes, end
If
it.
you
No.
want to like sync a scene.
No, that's actually a thing that is funny. It's called fucking your buddy, where it's like you escalate it and like leave it with him. And then it's
Your
like hot
turn,
potato.
buddy.
Like, yeah, it's like all right, man. Potato's hot as shit. Fuck you.
In 1909, Houdini became fascinated with aviation.
Hell yeah.
He purchased a plane for $5,000 in 1909 from a Chilean aviator and hired a full-time mechanic. After crashing once, he made his first successful flight on November 26 in Hamburg, Germany. The following year, Houdini toured Australia and brought along his plane with the intention to become the first person to fly in Australia.
Wait, no one had flown in
That's-
Australia yet?
That's the first
Just
thing
like
I
an
thought.
airplane hadn't gotten to Australia yet?
Probably.
This is 1909.
And when was flight 1901 or 2 or something like that?
So on Friday, March 18th, 1910, following multiple weather delays, he did become the first person to ever fly in Australia.
That's just funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious to think that that's a stat you could get.
Yeah.
a claim, right?
I mean, it just surprises me because flight became so prolific so quickly.
Yeah, the Wright brothers flew in 1903.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's exponential.
7 years, man. And it's Australia. It's a fucking
It's backwoods. Yeah.
prison
Nobody's.
island.
I mean, the fact we went from 1903 to 1969, 6 years we got to the fucking moon.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, we left the planet in the 50s.
Yeah.
He flew for 3.5 minutes, reaching an altitude of 100 feet.
Good for him. What Australian
It's hardly
hero?
flying.
What?
How high do you have to get to be considered flying? That seems like gliding.
The Wright brothers did not get higher than 100 feet.
No, they probably got like 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After completing his Australia tour, Houdini put his plane into storage in England. He announced he would use it to fly from city to city during his next music hall tour, and even promised to leap from it handcuffed. But he
Oh.
never flew it again.
Boo.
Yeah. He saw what the limit was.
At the time.
Yeah.
It would be like that's the type of thing where you want like I get his like concern though because it is the type of thing where you want like eventually you're like lock yourself in a cage with fucking 8 just fucking pissed off gorillas and if you don't you gotta get out of that cage as fast as fucking possible. Like if you just need him to get closer and closer to death.
Yeah.
Like it's like all right, cut your artery open and you gotta sew it up before you bleed to death.
Well, see the cage situation, you'd have to actually make a big cage with
Yeah.
him in the middle and then 8 cages to hold the gorillas separately that you release at the same time.
Right.
That's a pretty complicated engineering job when you think about it.
Oh, true. Or he's got to get out. Like he's got 4 minutes before the gorillas are released.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah,
And
you
they,
like
like-
that ticking clock.
Yeah, like every 30 seconds after that, they release one.
It's
Yeah.
the Nathan for
Yeah.
you thing, right? Like he has to escape the handcuffs before the robot pulls his pants down in front of children.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right. Making him a sexual predator.
Yeah. Every time I think about that, like I just like sit back for a second and I'm like, that might be the funniest thing anyone's ever done. Like not subjectively, like objectively.
It might be, dude.
It might be the funniest thing anyone's ever come up with.
Oh god, I just finished his series actually.
Really?
The Curse.
I still had to watch that, but yeah, Nathan for You all time great.
It's just like I don't even. It's like beyond. Like the first time I saw it, I was like crying, laughing. But every time since then, I've just been like, "Is this the most beautiful thing I've ever seen?"
It's the perfect line of exploitation. It's like right up to like where it's problematic, but it's not. Like it's very gray. I think for a lot of people,
it's
but
just.
I mean, the rehearsal was perfect too. I thought.
I've only seen the actual clip. I haven't seen like the whole episode or anything like that.
No, the rehearsal, the series that he did, the reality series.
Oh, Emma Stone.
What
Is Emma Stone in it?
No, that's the curse.
Oh, that's the curse.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
In 1912, Houdini created the underwater box escape in front of a huge crowd along New York's East River. Houdini was handcuffed and placed inside a box, locked in, thrown into the river. When he escaped, just moments later, everyone cheered. Even the magazine Scientific American was impressed and proclaimed Houdini's feat as one of the most remarkable tricks ever performed.
Like, what's the Scientific American going to say? Nobody's like claiming that he's a wizard, and they're like, well, we can't disprove it where the sparks shooting out of his fingers came from. It's just a guy picking locks and holding his breath. Like, there's nothing unscientific about it.
Yeah, it's really not. It's sleight of hand. The only thing that would have been like, if Scientific American was like, that seance was the closest thing we've ever seen to, then.
We did peer into another world.
The veil was lifted that day. No, but they're talking, like
they're
you
just
said,
like, okay,
it's contortion tricks.
Good at engineering and contortion.
Yeah,
like,
it's there's nothing unscientific about what he's doing.
This is just people like, no, he's God. He's God.
In September of 1912, Houdini debuted his most famous trick, the Chinese water torture cell. And he escaped at the Circus Bush in Berlin.
Is that the big glass box filled with water?
For this trick, Houdini was handcuffed and shackled and then lowered headfirst into a tall glass box
Boom.
that had been filled with water.
Which is, don't they show that in The Prestige, right?
That's the Prestige trick, pretty much.
Yeah, where that Hugh Jackman falls into it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wasn't the whole thing he kept cloning himself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole twist.
Sorry, guys. Spoilers. Assistants would then pull a
It's too late.
curtain in front of the glass. Moments later, Houdini would emerge, wet but alive. This became, again, his most famous trick. When the U.S. joined World War I, Houdini tried to enlist in the army, so not a coward.
No.
Not a coward. However, he was 43,
Oh.
so he was not accepted.
I mean, you got to just use him as, he's too famous to be like a spy, but maybe, I don't know.
Well, he ended up going over, and he spent years performing for the troops.
Not too famous.
The
also.
Germans?
No, for us.
Oh, okay.
We've had situations in U.S. spy games, though, where, like, we've used, like, famous baseball players, and, like, they'd go over to try and get, like, recon and, like,
Dennis
spy
Rodman.
people. Dennis
North
Rodman,
Korea.
for instance.
Maybe.
But then, like, other American troops would see them and be like, yo, that's so-and-so Slugger Man. And, like, they'd be like, what? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, it went out of the park for me.
yeah, no, and they'd be like, they'd, like, blow their own spy's cover and shit because, like, they had to, like, dial that in on who they could actually use, I think. It was a World War II spy that happened to.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
When the war was drawn to a close, Houdini gets his first heat check, really. He hoped that he could get into the movies. Motion pictures.
Oh, yeah.
It would be a new way for him to reach mass audiences. So he was signed by famous players Lasky Paramount Pictures. Houdini starred in his first motion picture in 1919, a 15-episode serial titled The Master Mystery. He also starred in The Grim Game in 1919, Terror Island in 1920, and the two films were total flops.
I would say, were these scripted? What was it like? Do you know, or was it just like him doing his tricks on film?
No, it was more there was acting.
Okay.
These weren't talkies yet, though, right?
Yeah,
No.
he's a showman, but
What I wonder if it was the type of thing where, like, you know, Impractical Jokers had that movie. like a film,
Mhm.
and there was like a loose plot where it's like, okay, Eva Longoria walks up to us and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I love you guys. I've got 2 tickets to this thing in L.A. if you guys want to come, but it's only 2." And they're like, "Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We go across the country, and whoever does the best pranks, 2 best guys who do the best pranks get to go to this."
I
thing."
need you to stop this voice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move on.
Also, I one of those people that just doesn't find Impractical Jokers funny.
Me either.
I don't get the.
But I
hype of
wanted
it.
to like.
I've never watched this, so I have no
I
opinion
don't like
on it.
prank shows, and
I-
except Jackass.
Jackass is the only one.
I liked Boiling Points when I was a kid.
Boiling Points was kind of funny actually because
It was just like, how much can we piss off somebody before they?
well,
just
they don't even
lose
know
it?
they're on the show.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about Boiling Points. Yeah.
Confident that it was bad management that caused the movies to flop, the Houdinis returned to New York and founded their own film company, the Houdini Picture Corporation. Houdini then produced and starred in 2 of his own films, The Man from Beyond and Howden of the Secret Service. These 2 films also bombed at the box office, leading Houdini to the conclusion that it was time to give it up.
How do you bomb when there's like 5 movies in existence
And nothing else to
Yeah.
watch.
Like, how does it bomb? It's the only shit out. Like, there's. Have you seen this yet? No, go. Like,
Yeah.
how does it bomb?
What else do you have to do?
It must be like repeats
I think
because
people
people
just-
like
They wanted to see him perform magic, not act.
the
Yeah,
second,
yeah.
like the first, second movies. People must have went back 100 times though to see that shit.
That was a common thing.
It's
for
like all
sure.
the influencers now trying to make movies.
That is
Yeah.
weird. I don't like it.
There's a great, I've never watched it, but the trailer for, I think in like 2014, 15, Logan Paul had like a dystopian movie
Oh really?
when all that stuff was hot. Like it was peak Hunger Games and Maze Runner and the Shailene Woodley one, Divergent. So he just had his own like teen dystopian movie, and it looked fucking dog shit.
Yeah, of course it did.
At the end of World War I, there was a huge surge in people believing in spiritualism again. With millions of young men dead from the war, their grieving families looked for ways to contact them beyond the grave. Psychics, mediums, mystics, and others emerged to fill this need. Houdini was, of course, with his past and his kind of sense of, like, he felt bad about what he did, so he went to war with the fucking mediums.
Oh, he started exposing them.
He started exposing.
Hell
I
yeah.
respect, dude.
That's dope. Also, people with World War I, maybe we've talked about this before, but people don't really kind of understand, like, we were only in it for kind of like a year, 2 years-ish, a little bit or whatever. We got in like 17, but like, and it went to almost to the end of 18, but like a lot of fucking Americans died in that war for how not long we were in it. It's like 100,000 people.
yeah.
That's our 3rd bloodiest war. It was only like, we were only in it for like a year and a half.
It's a wood chipper, dude. That thing was just a meat grinder.
Yeah.
That war was insane.
Along this quest, Houdini befriended famous author Sir Arthur Conan Doyle,
Oh, wow.
who was a devoted believer in spiritualism after having lost his son in the war. The 2 men exchanged many letters debating the truthfulness of spiritualism. In their relationship, Houdini was always looking for rational answers behind the encounters, and Doyle remained the devoted believer.
Ironic, considering his most famous character.
Sherlock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Mr. Rational,
Yeah.
and like that, and like all his stories, like the Hound of Baskervilles or whatever. Like, everyone else thinks they're like magic demon hounds, and then Holmes, you
Yeah.
know, eventually figures out that it's not. It's like the anti X-Files. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like Holmes is Scully, and
It's
Scully's always right.
It's highbrow Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
Yeah. 'cause
yeah. They
it's
pull
like-
the mask.
They
off.
pull the mask off. It's just a dude being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
This friendship ended after Lady Doyle had claimed to channel automatic write-in from Houdini's mother. Houdini was not convinced.
Automatic writing's a hard one to convince anyone of. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's where you sit there and freely write, and it's like, oh, I was like, I'm
She
not
did
thinking
it.
about what I'm writing, so I was channeling it.
Yeah,
Houdini was not convinced because of the many issues that came about. She wrote it in English.
Oh,
Which
homegirl
is-
only speaks German.
Mother didn't speak.
yeah. Huge plot hole there.
Yeah.
The friendship between Houdini and Doyle ended bitterly and led to many antagonistic attacks against each other in newspapers. So they beefed after this
Shit,
because he called his wife a liar.
she was.
Yeah.
So Seems accurate.
If anything, he's just offering advice on the act too.
Yeah.
It's like don't bury
And also
a
like,
hole.
hey man, I did this.
Yeah.
Although
I have a past. I know what they do.
Yeah.
Here are all the tricks of the trade.
I feel like it's tough because like I get it, your son died, that's awful, but like these people are just robbing.
Yeah, no, they're
like people like grieving widows, or mothers, whatever, blind.
yeah, they're exploiting people's trauma and tragedies for personal gain. It's awful. But also, good on you if you can keep it going, I guess.
It's all about the grind.
It's a grift. Well, that's the grift.
The grift is a grind.
The grift is a grind, yeah.
So Houdini went on tour and started exposing the grift. He gave lectures on the topic and often included demonstrations of these tricks during his performances. He joined a committee organized by Scientific-American who analyzed claims for a $2,500 prize for a true psychic phenomena. No one ever received the prize.
Yep. Well, it's the same thing with there's a guy that was doing that for a while around the 70s and 80s, I think. What was that Russian guy, Yuri Gagarin or
I
whatever?
don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Yakov Smirnov.
Yeah. In Soviet Russia, your mother
Branson?
says she misses you.
What?
In Branson.
I don't remember.
Yakov.
I don't remember that.
Huge
Oh.
in the 80s and 90s.
Really?
I saw him
Actually, yes.
in like the 90s.
Well, he's still kicking.
What does he do? Is he a comedian? Or?
He's like, he just makes fun of like Russia.
Oh yeah, no. Yuri was this guy who was like, I can bend. He was the like original spoon bending guy.
Okay.
And like this guy's like, all right, if you can prove this in my controlled environment, I'll give you like $1 million.
Yeah.
He couldn't do shit.
Like, it's not
Yeah, it's like
the waves aren't in here.
yeah, exactly.
Houdini also spoke in front of the U.S. House of Representatives, supporting a proposed bill that would ban telling fortunes for pay in Washington, D.C.
Keep the government out of my fifth eye,
Your third eye.
third eye, whatever.
That's just your butt.
Yeah, fifth eye's butt.
Yeah.
It's true. The result was that even though Houdini brought about some skepticism, it seemed to create more interest in spiritualism.
Of course it is. When you
You just
try
got-
to ban things, people want to know why it's being banned.
You gotta just let it die. And also, people just are gonna like dig in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, a lot of spiritualists then just threw countless death threats at the Houdinis.
If I was Houdini, I'd be like, well, whatever. I guess you'd still get to hang around in another world.
yeah,
Doesn't sound that bad.
death threats. Really? Like, what were they cursing him?
Yeah.
Were they putting spells on him? Yeah.
On October 22nd, 1926, Houdini was in his dressing room preparing for a show at McGill University in Montreal. When one of 3 students he had invited backstage asked if Houdini could really withstand a strong punch to his upper torso. Houdini answered that he could. The student J. Gordon Whitehead then asked Houdini if he could punch him. Houdini agreed and started to get up off a couch when Whitehead punched him 3 times in the abdomen before Houdini had a chance to tense his stomach muscles.
he got him slipping, dude. He caught him asleep. He's getting up like,
He's
all right,
getting
let
up
me
and
get ready.
just boom, boom, boom.
He hit him 3 times. That's 3 just in quick
God
succession to a
damn.
guy that wasn't ready for it. What a piece of shit.
Houdini turned visibly pale, and the students left.
What?
What
Knew
is
you weren't magic.
You got him in the jejunum.
To Houdini, the show must always go on. Suffering from severe pain, Houdini performed the show at McGill University and then went on to do 2 more the following day. Moving on to Detroit that evening, Houdini grew weaker and suffered from stomach pain and fever. Instead of going to the hospital, he once again went on with the show and collapsed on stage, or off stage. He was taken to a hospital, and it was discovered that not only did his appendix burst, it was also showing signs of gangrene.
Oh, no.
The next afternoon, surgeons removed his appendix. The following day, his condition worsened. They operated on him again. Houdini told Bess that if he died, he would try to contact her from the grave.
Oh, come on.
What
Given-
year was this? Wait, what year was this?
1926.
Oh, you're getting your appendix taken out in 26? That's a rough one.
This is like the start, I feel like, of modern medicine.
It's the very start.
Given
Yeah.
her a secret code, Rosabelle believe. Houdini died at 1:26 p.m. on Halloween Day, October 31st, 1926.
Damn.
He was 52. Headlines immediately read, "Was Houdini murdered?"
Kinda.
Did he really have appendicitis? Was he poisoned? Why was there no autopsy?
Why did that dick punch him 3 times in a row before he was ready? That's the biggest one for me.
Houdini's life insurance company investigated the death and ruled out foul play, but for many, uncertain regards that cause to Houdini's death lingers. Houdini's funeral was held on November 4th, 1926 in New York with more than 2,000 mourners in attendance. For years after his death, Bess attempted to contact Houdini through seances, but Houdini never contacted her from beyond the grave.
I always thought he died from like a trick that went wrong.
Nope, he died from getting punched in the stomach.
Someone just inflamed his appendix for him?
No, I think you nailed it. He died from a trick that went wrong because he was like, hey, I heard you could take a punch to the stomach. And he's like, yeah. And then he got punched in the stomach. And
well, that guy was just a prick. Let's be real. That guy's Hitler for me.
He's today's Hitler.
Yeah, that guy that punched him 3 times in quick succession after like not even giving him a chance to get ready. That guy's Hitler.
I do remember hearing that he got punched in the stomach, and that's kind of how he died. But I did think before I wrote this episode that a trick went wrong.
I thought it was like he was trying to catch a bullet or something. There's like a bullet catching trick I'd always heard some magician died from, but maybe that's...
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there somebody that tried to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel?
Yes, that absolutely happened.
Did Houdini?
No, but I think somebody died doing it.
I also thought Evel Knievel died in like doing a trick.
20 different ways.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like it's just with these kind of dudes, you never know what actually killed them, and then you actually dig in. You're like, oh.
Copperfield did it and lived.
David Copperfield went over Niagara Falls in a barrel.
Yep.
Well, he also has.
He
has a bunch of Houdini like merch,
but he also like
and
he put
just
his
like
erection through the barrel hole. That's why he's able to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So his Houdini's brother, mentioned earlier, took all of his tricks and all of his stuff. He Houdini in his will gave him permission to do so, but after Theo died, he was supposed to burn everything and just like get rid of everything, destroy everything, all of his tricks and everything, and all of his I guess equipment.
And he just left it.
But yeah, it got sold.
Yeah, I mean,
Charles Stevens, I think, might be the magician. He was a daredevil, but he definitely died going over Niagara Falls in a barrel.
just why in a barrel? That feels
I don't
like
understand
it'd be more dangerous.
how people
Because it was back in the day, dude.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
It was during barrel days.
yeah, you know the good old barrel days of tricks. Put him in a barrel, roll it down a hill. What else can we roll him down in a barrel?
So you say the guy that punched Houdini in the stomach's Hitler?
Without question.
What about you, Rob?
I think Houdini's Hitler for not letting all those grieving mothers believe that their sons were okay. He was like, listen, I'm trying to help you. Your sons are in a black void.
Yeah.
They're nothing.
They're cold and
Yeah.
they miss their moms.
Yeah. That's okay. I'm trying to help.
It's John, what's his crossing over, remember?
Edwards.
John Edwards,
Yeah.
yeah. And South Park did such a good breakdown of how that shit works.
Oh yeah.
It's
a great
but
show.
it's so true. It's just they bug the line.
Yeah.
And they just say vague shit like feeling like a dad figure. It's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Good guess.
Of course, yeah.
You had a connection with your father?
You gotta do what Houdini did. Go to the graveyards.
Yeah, get the town goss, dude. That would be the most fun part of that job. Just rolling into a new
Hell
shit
yeah.
town and figuring out who's fucking who.
Yeah.
Who died.
What'd you learn today?
I didn't know that Houdini was so staunchly anti-psychic.
Yeah, it's kind of...
He was a convert, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize. Well, I didn't even want to do the stuff in the first place.
Yeah.
It seems like,
It was a job.
yeah, yeah, pretty much.
It was a gig.
I learned how Houdini died today.
Yeah, that too. I
actually
fucking
had no
didn't
idea.
know that.
I had no idea how it happened.
I
thought it was a
learned that
trick.
he became the first man to fly in Australia.
Also,
That's
I learned
awesome.
a lot today because I didn't really know much about Houdini.
But
All I
didn't-
knew was he was fucking bricked up on his legs
He's stacked up.
because he's a cross-country winner in school.
Yeah.
Daddy's got
Love the run.
quads that'll crack a chestnut, bro.
I learned that he was stripped naked in front of Germans.
Yep.
I learned that the Germans kind of had a thing for this before.
I didn't learn.
Yeah.
I didn't learn anything new about the
I
Germans.
learned nothing new about the Germans.
Yeah.
So that's today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next week. Again, we'll have 2 additional episodes, though, on Patreon if you want to check those out. Patreon.com/softcorehistory. Make sure to leave a review if you can on Apple and Spotify. Apple, write a review. That's incredibly helpful. That's how you manipulate the charts. And yeah, if you want some merch, softcorehistory.com. We got plenty of tees, plenty of sweaters.
Shop now for your St. Patrick's Day merch.
And follow us at Softcore History on Instagram for memes, for clips, for just news about the show.
All the stuff.
We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. For Rob Fox and Jake Goldman, I'm Dan Jester, and you just got soft served.